to my kitchen. Tonight is pie night. We're going to make a couple of different pies tonight. Now, Brad and I are big pie people. He likes more custard-based pies, and I don't really care as long as it's got sugar in it. So we're going to make a buttermilk pie, and we're going to make a blueberry pie. Now, we're going to start off by blind baking my pie crust. A lot of folks would put some weights in here, some little baking weights with a piece of parchment paper, and they would start off with that. But my mama never did that. My mama always poked holes in it, because when you blind bake it, it's going to puff up a little bit, and you want the air to escape, and you don't want the whole thing to puff up like a biscuit. So I'm going to poke some holes in this. I just make lots of little marks like that, and then I go around the side like that, just poking holes, because we want to kind of halfway cook the crust, but we don't want it done. So it's called a blind bake. I don't know. That's just how it works. So I've got lots of holes all in this sucker, and I'm going to stick him in the oven for, I don't know, we'll look at 7 minutes. Now, while that bakes, we're going to start on the buttermilk pie, because it comes together real fast. Now, here's my bowl, and in this bowl, I am going to beat my butter, 1 whole stick of butter. Don't use margarine. Just don't do it. It doesn't taste as good. I hate it when people try to substitute. There is no substitute for butter. That'll be on my tombstone. No substitute. Okay, so we have a whole stick of butter, and then I've got 1.25 cups of just regular white granulated sugar. I'm going to pour that in, and I'm going to start working it in. Now, your butter does have to be soft, and if you were of a mind to use your mixer, you could do that, but I figured it's awful loud with a mixer, so I'm just going to do it this way. And you're just kind of creaming it in together. It's not going to be a big deal at the end of the day, because it's all going to melt together. So I've got it pretty much incorporated. And we're going to start adding our other ingredients. We're going to add 3 eggs. Now, these eggs came from my friend Beth's house. Her chickens are maniacs, and they're laying like crazy. And I'm always happy for her to have extra, because she brings them to me. So we're going to pop 3 eggs in here. 1, 2, 3. 3 eggs. And the yolks on these farm eggs, they're so much darker than a store-bought egg. If I could have chickens, I would. Brad don't know it, but maybe one day I want a chicken coop in the backyard. My sister had chickens and opossums. Wouldn't leave them alone, so she never had much success. Okay, this looks fabulous. Look, I have got it to this consistency where that sugar and the eggs and everything has come together just lovely. Now, I have to add some buttermilk and some lemon juice, some lemon zest, and vanilla. Now, I'm going to put the recipe in the description on the page. Don't worry. I'm going fast. I'm sorry. But it's just the way it is. So I have already juiced some lemons. Now, you can use bottled if you want to. But I'm already fudging it enough with pie crust. So I figure I better use real lemon juice. So I'm going to need a tablespoon of lemon juice. Pour it out here. Try not to get a seed in there, because I did. I got a seed in. That's all right. I'll get the seed out. All right, so that's 1 full tablespoon of lemon juice. And then we're going to add some vanilla, and we're going to add salt, and we're going to add some flour. Now, the flour is going to be for thickening. The eggs are going to help, but you really do need a little something to add as a binder. So I have got 3 tablespoons of plain all-purpose flour. It's going straight straight in. I have got 1 full tablespoon of lemon zest. Boom, get it all in there. And if you don't know how to zest a lemon, let me show you. This is a microplaner, and this is a lemon. Now I have washed this lemon, so it's nice and clean. And you want to just hit it on there until stuff shaves off. But don't go too hard, because if you get down to this white part, it tastes bad. So don't do it. Just 1 stroke, you're good. Boom. And it just pops off, and you can beat your lemon like that, and it falls in the bowl. So we're good to go. Now we need some vanilla. Vanilla's my favorite. Just saying. I like chocolate too, who am I kidding? Alright, so there's a teaspoon and a squirt. Because that's how I like to do things. Okay, and we also need a little bit of salt. So I've got my salt here, my kosher salt. It's 1/4 teaspoon. So dip it in. Boom. Now, I'm going to mix this up. It looks kind of like cake batter, but it's not. And my buttermilk. Shake it up just a little bit. Now I need a cup of buttermilk. So here's my measuring cup. That's a cup. And we're just going to mix it up. It's the easiest thing in the world. Now listen, if you turn your nose up because it's called a buttermilk pie, and you say, I don't like buttermilk, I'm not going to like that pie, well, you're just being dumb. Stop it. Buttermilk is a fabulous creation. Excuse me. What?
I hate buttermilk.
Oh.
But I love buttermilk pie.
Oh. Did you hear that? My husband just broke in and he said that he hates buttermilk, but he does love buttermilk pie. So, there it goes to show you. He's living proof. Seriously, buttermilk, it's a fabulous creation. Let me check my pie crust just to make sure I'm not. Oh, it's looking good. It's got about a minute left. So, I am going to get this other pie crust that I do not have to blind bake. And I'm going to stick it on this tray because I have to put something under it because otherwise it'd be a mess. So I'm going to pour it straight in, a unbaked pie crust. And look, this is a 9-inch pie crust and it all fits. Oh, I love that when that thing comes together. Boom, but it might bubble over, so that's why we have the insurance pan. That's what I call it, the insurance pan. All right. So I'm going to cut that. Well, it's got 15 seconds, so I'm good. Here goes. I'm going in the oven. It's over here on the side. So, I'm popping this thing in this oven. And it's already going to come off the side, but that's all right. Tastes good. Oh, there's my timer. I'm going to turn that off. And then I'm going to set this one for 55 minutes. At 350 degrees. And then we're going to check it and we're going to see what happens. So I'm satisfied it's going to be fabulous. Okay, so now it's time to take this pie crust out of the oven because it has shrunk up just the least little bit. But you can see it's come away from the edge and it's kind of puffed. But that's just what we want. That looks exactly right. So I'm going to set that right here. And then we're going to work on the filling. I have measured out 5 cups of frozen blueberries. Now you can tell that these are considerably smaller than the great big things that we have around here. It's just the nature of the beast. But these are so wonderful. And trust me, I know when we go to Maine, everything is blueberry. Muffins, pancakes, pie, you name it. So they're proud of their blueberries, and I'm proud of them too. So that's why we're having these. So, I'm going to switch out my paper here just so I don't steer you wrong. A lot of folks like to cook their fruit first, and I'm one of them. But I'm going to try this way. Normally, I would put this on the stove, Put all the stuff in with it and cook it down for about 10 minutes, just so that this could leach out, but the frozen part, because these have been in the freezer. But I've had them out for a good bit now, and they are not really froze solid, so I think we're going to be okay. So to 5 cups of blueberries, I'm going to add a cup of sugar. Straight in. Now stir that up. Looks good. And then we're going to add some lemon zest. Again, lemon zest. This is only a teaspoon of lemon zest this time rather than a tablespoon, so a teaspoon. We're going to use some more of our wonderful lemon juice. A teaspoon lemon juice. Who are we kidding? Let's put a little more. I always do my own thing. It's my kitchen, and I can do what I want to do. And it's your kitchen too, and you can do what you want to at your house. So, got that in. Now, here's the deal. The sugar is going to turn into a syrup, and it's going to make it thick, but it needs help. That's why we have cornstarch. Cornstarches are thickening agent in this regard. I have 3 full big fat tablespoons of cornstarch, and we're just going to add it straight into the bowl. And don't leave any, because we need it all. Kaboom. And then I'm just going to toss it around so everybody in the pool gets a little coat. Get dusted with this. Now, since this is a fruit pie, I put salt in. Salt kicks the flat. If you ever eat something and it's missing that one thing, it's missing salt. I'm just saying. So, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Sprinkle it all in, and it'll fix it. I promise. And if you leave it out, it's your own darn fault if it tastes flat, because I've told you. Alright, this is stirred up pretty stinking good, I'd say. So, I don't think this is all going to fit in my pie crust, but we'll give it a go. Reach over here and get my pie crust. And here we go. Cross your fingers. I am not optimistic about this. I guess it does make a difference when you cook the berries first as opposed to not cooking first. But it's okay. You know why? Because it's got sugar in it and it's going to be fabulous. So why do we care if it all fits or if it don't? If it don't all fit, I'll just cook it on the side and make some syrup or something for a pancake. Sounds good. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to try to get any more in there. Let me move some stuff around so I can get our top crust. I know, I feel like such a cheater by using this store-bought. But they're so dang handy. And it's just so easy. It's like, why not? Why would I make a pie crust? Well, if it was Brad's birthday, I would make a pie crust. Because he's worth the effort. But it ain't a birthday. It's just a day. So we're getting store-bought. Okay. We got to crimp these edges to keep our pie in. Everybody's got a method. I just jump in there and start pinching all around the edge. You're going to end up cutting some of this off. I'm a terrible pie crimper. I just don't have a whole lot to work with because that store-bought pie on the bottom, it did shrink up some, so it took away my base. Stinker. That's okay. So I'm just going to crimp around here with my thumbs until it gets all the way around. And what we're doing is we're sealing. Well, we're trying to seal, just so it won't ooze out when everything liquefies and starts cooking. But I have a feeling that it's going to go all over the place, and that's okay. I'm going to get a knife, and I'm just going to cut around the bottom here to trim it. But we don't need all that. Look at that, it came right off. Okay, So she's not much to look at, but we're going to dance with her anyway because we brought her. We're going to cut a couple of air holes because we have to have a vent. So, just like Granny did, 4 little woo-hoos. And a woo, 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 woo. Boom. Okay. I haven't looked all the way around that pie crust. Maybe I should. Oh, look. I've made a mouth. And that's okay. I was actually looking at Brad when I said that because he noticed it. But it's out of our control and it's not going to matter. It's fine. Really. Okay. Is that better?
Beautiful.
Yes. Okay, so since it's a store-bought pie crust and I feel the need to make y'all think that I know what I'm doing in the kitchen, I'm going to teach you how to make a rose. And some leaves. So you see this? I made these. I guess I need to dab a little buttermilk on here. Give it some sticking power. Look at that. Hold on, it's exciting. Shut up. Look at that. Ain't it cute? I love it. I'm going to show you how to do it. Alright, so I had extra pie crust left over. And I took that pie crust and I took a biscuit cutter and I just cut a big circle like that. And boom, there's a leaf. And for the rosette, I used the small one. And I punched out about 6 or 7 of these little roundies like this. And I'm going to show you what to do. You lay them out in a line, just like this. How many is that? That's 2, 4, 6, 7. We'll shoot for 8. Yeah, I'm gonna get a little buttermilk and just kind of seal them down the center. It's easier said than done, y'all, but it can be done. So just hold up. All right, now we're gonna roll them. I think I'm actually backward. That's why it was so hard. Look, I fixed it. Okay. So we're gonna start rolling. Just roll it up. Getting all the little petals. And then boom, look at that. Turned into a rose, just that easy. See, and you pull it out a little bit, and it's gonna be perfect. I know it looks a little wonky right now, but in reality, it's gonna be fine. So, I'm gonna put a little buttermilk on here as my glue. I'm gonna grab another leaf that I made a little while ago. Put it there. And just a little more buttermilk as my glue. And Shazam. Look how adorable that is. Brad, you need to come over here and look at this. He's doing something else. Okay, so look. I have got a pie. And it's ready. It's ready for the oven. Now listen, at this point, if you wanted it to be nice and golden brown or glossy or some business, you could take your little brush and you could do an egg wash or you could do a water wash. I'm not going to because you don't have to. That's how I roll. So we're going to stick this in a preheated 400-degree oven. On a line pan, because it's going to bubble out. It's going to get all over creation. So listen to me. Use a pan under it. And we're going to bake this sucker for, we'll start out at 50 minutes. If your pie crust starts getting dark around the edges, you can always take a little piece of tin foil and kind of bunch it up and wrap it around the outside edge, and that'll keep it from burning. Because you've gone to all this trouble with making a pie, you don't want it burned. So, now we wait. So, I'm going to clean up, and then when we come back, it's going to be magical. My kitchen's going to be clean, and we're going to have pie coming out of the oven, and I can't hardly stand it. Yeah! And magically, the kitchen is clean and the pies are baking and it smells like heaven up in here. The buttermilk pie looks to be about ready. Now I've checked it several times and it's nice and brown on top and it smells like vanilla pound cake. So I'm gonna go get it out and I'm gonna bring it over and let you see it. Oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Shut the front door. Holy cow. Look at that. It's perfect. I'm even surprised that it's so perfect because I thought it was just going to ooze out everywhere and be a big fat mess. Now it did ooze out just a little bit, but that's okay. We'll take it. Oh, I'm so excited. This is real nice, Clark. I like this. So, what I'm going to do is transfer it, over to this wire rack and let it rest a minute. I can't get up under it with that, so I'm going to get this. I'm going to do this. See if I can get her done. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, do not try this at home. Okay, so being that it is a custard pie, it's going to have to sit a while. The longer it sits, the better it's going to be. Normally, we let it sit overnight before we cut into it. I don't think that's going to happen tonight because it smells so good. I can't hardly stand it. I just want to jig my finger in, but I'm not going to. So we're going to let this cool for a little bit. Mr. Blueberry is still not done. He's got not quite 5 minutes left. So we're going to let him go, and we'll be back in just a second. And we've got the last pie coming out of the oven. It took around an hour and 5 minutes for it to get completely done. Now, I'm not going to lie. She was kind of playing. So, when she had about 5 minutes left on the timer, I took a little bowl of water and my trusty little brush, and I just brushed all over with water, and then I took regular white casting sugar, and I sprinkled a little bit on there, and then I put her under the broiler on the low rack. I had it as low as I could get it, and she kind of browned up, and well, she looks good for what she is. Store-bought crust, maybe not so beautiful, but I'm kind of happy with it. It smells real good. It don't smell nothing like that thing though, and that's what we're about to cut open because that's how I roll. So it's probably not going to be 100% set in the middle just because it needs to sit in the refrigerator and cool and set up. But I don't care. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to take me probably the wrong knife to use, but I don't care. I'm going in. Oh, it has just set so lovely. Oh, and when you break open that crust with, oh, it smells like heaven. Buttermilk heaven. That's what we should name this pie. Buttermilk heaven. Shut up. Now, if I can get a piece out in one piece, then we'll be good to go. Okay, cross your fingers. Going in. Oh, well, stop. Now I'm going to show you this. This pie, being that it is a custard pie, it has set up so interesting. The very bottom layer, you can see it looks like just an egg custard pie. But then the top layer has mixed with that flour and it has made like a sponge. It just looks fabulous. I'm impressed. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this. It smells so good. Now, around here, we have a way of eating pie. And it doesn't really matter what kind of pie it is. I will share the secret with you. Reach over here and get it. We call it the and we are very generous with it. Now I'm gonna call Brad in here. This is his favorite pie. And I'm gonna put some of this on it. He's gonna be happy as a pig in a puddle. Oh, it goes everywhere. That's okay. Hey, honey. I can hardly stand it. Can you smell it? Can you smell it? All right. He's going to take a bite. I think. That devil. Get in here. Get a bite.
Let's see it.
Now be careful because it's still a little bit warm.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. That's love.
Oh, man.
Can you hear the love? Do you feel the love?
Oh, yeah. The vanilla, lemon,
You taste the lemon?
custardy.
I smell lemon.
That is a perfect pie.
Not to ignore our friend the blueberry. We're going to eat that tomorrow. But y'all, this pie is so worth making. Please, please, please try a buttermilk pie. You will thank yourself and everybody's going to fall in love with it. I'm going to let you go because I don't want to eat this on camera and make a fool of myself. But I am going to enjoy it. I've enjoyed making it for you. Enjoyed having you with me. Cheerio.